And TLR, we haven't seen what TLR did, so I don't know if they beat Dogs, but we are actually going to go live here. So if you've just tuned in, this is stream number 2, TLR versus Reason. I'm Ryushi, TurboTabs is in charge, and we've got our production ready to go. This is going to be Gully Wash, and I'm going to be watching AMS as he turns up to mid. He's going to look for a bit of a bomb, I think, because that's normally what he does when he comes to a mid. He's going to hit a sick air shot onto that roaming soldier. I don't know who that was, but Reason, they're just going to try and do as much damage to the TLR members. Yeah, 2 go down immediately. A big, nice air pipe by Cadus onto Alpha there. And Reason, actually, they've been forced back. They're all really low. And if TLR can just get a nice little cleanup, they could definitely win this mid. Captain and Mikey, the only ones left alive, versus War. War's going to pick off Captain, and now Mike, the only one left alive. He's got 120 HP, is going to take the air pipe. Does manage to get Serotonin, but gets signed down by War. That is going to be the first mid going the way of TLR. But for how long, Turbo? How long?
Well, I bet it's just very baffling. Like, I expected Reason to kind of turn up to this place and like coast it all the way to the final, but it seems they've just maybe been shocked to their core from that last game. Now, it's very strange as well, because this is one of Reason's stronger maps, in my opinion. So I don't know what Reason are going to do to kind of make up for this, but keep in mind, it is a group stage. Maybe this is just some sort of elaborate ruse where they're just like, oh, we'll just show how weak we are, and then we'll show them the real reason.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Nothing really happens in terms of group stages, so most teams are treating this like extra scrims. You don't get seeded, you still end up in basically exactly the same place. So I don't think we can put any stock by it, but both teams are going to want to look to win, though, to assert their dominance. Serotonin is going to be running away with the rest of his team, TLR. They are running crits, though. They are going to try and force out. War is going to pick up Cadus, but the Uber does get forced out. But no, the Uber hasn't even been forced out, sorry. Nox is holding onto it for so long, and that's risky against a crit screen.
Not when you're outside of mid. Nox was like onto second point just about to avoid that crit. You actually see TLR just taking advantage of this and taking all this free space, but need to remember they're fighting against an Uber, and that's what Nox pops right now, and Forsaken takes out her B. The rest of TLR just trying to back away. Alpha's actually hiding sneaky underneath the point, seeing if he can actually get a pick onto Nox. He's right on top, he gets one rocket, he actually gets a nice little direct onto Nox, but he was just way too far to actually get the damage that he needs to kill Nox. And
Nox does go down, though, to a nice little play by the scouts. And now with Serotonin, they've got this crit streak. If he can just keep War alive, which he's doing admirably, I've got to say, they can just defend this. As soon as they get a couple more players, as soon as Alpha, Nico, and AMS get forward spawns, because don't forget, TLR still have mid here. They could just push straight in on second with Kritzkrieg and just get so many frags if War can just line up the shots. At the moment, Reason are grouped up pretty damningly, and if War just walks around this corner, he can get so many frags if he can land a stick inside of lobby. It looks like this is going to be the play. Yeah, the crits does get popped off. Can War find anyone? Finds Happy Cool. Doesn't look to see it. Isn't able to find anyone else. And now, of course, Nox finds himself with a slight advantage, only about sort of 40–50%. But with that Kritzkrieg building up, it's not going to be too much. And if TLR can play this well, then Reason could be looking at going 1 round down it already.
Well, very nice positioning coming out from Reason to avoid that crit in the first place. If you just stay inside and just kind of bait out the crits and then immediately back out, there's nothing that crits can do to you, especially with the nice safety guards of your base. We do see Forsaken kind of poking his way out of the lobby, seeing if he can fish out and actually get the kill onto Nico, but Nico is just, it's kind of a new leaf from him. I'm surprised Nico didn't just see the kill and went, I must kill that player, and immediately go in. Alpha gets actually a nice slide pick onto Cadus, who is overextending, maybe even trying to set up a sticky trap into the lobby, but TLR actually collectively taking out that player, and the Uber has popped off in response to that crits, but the negative side is War did actually take out Captain again. Captain was dropped. Someone told me that he was dropped quite a lot in the last map as well, and we see this trend continuing into the second best of 1, Ryushi.
Yeah, absolutely. And now TLR, they've found themselves in a really good position. They've got about a 15–20% advantage, and they're going to build on that because, of course, that Kritzkrieg does build so fast. And if they can just push straight in as soon as they get this, they're going to be pushing into the sniper of Forsaken. And pushing in with the crits against the sniper is really risky because, of course, your medic is so vulnerable when that happens. But if they can set this off really nicely and push in from maybe River, maybe from launch pad, they could get themselves some really easy frags. Nico is counter-sniping as well, so they're going to have that. Maybe they could run the crit sniper. I doubt it, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they're doing it. They're doing it. Look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not. I'm
Oh,
disappointed.
man, I was like prepping myself. I was like, oh no, nothing. Oh, Forsaken actually takes out Nico. Goodbye, Nico. But I think we're not going to see much of a response come out for Reason. Just buys more time for them, which they'll happily take. And now I think that will bring them both up to even Ubers now. And you need to keep in mind, Gully Wash is a very hard last point to push. And especially with a team like Reason, they probably perfected the last defense.
Yeah, well, you just see Alpha, the sub for TLR. He tries to push his way in. The crits do get popped out, but it's going to be too late, and the Uber gets popped off really nicely there. Mike is going to take a ton of damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Now a scout rushes in. Can AMS finish him off? Yes, he is going to be going down. That leaves Reason one player down as Alpha just respawns there, bringing TLR back up to 6. If TLR push quickly, they could definitely get to go in and push in a fight 6v5. But I'm not sure if they're going to be, if they're going to want to be honest.
Oh, Alpha actually gets donked there.
Wow, TLR getting destroyed. They just immediately lose 3 players as they tried to get in there. And now they're having to back themselves out. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened. I didn't see, suddenly just 3 players just died. So Reason really getting that coordinated kills there. And now they're pushing them all the way back onto mid, actually. I think, yeah, TLR have to give this up. They can't defend second. They're just going to try and defend the crits. I thought I heard the crits going off there, but I don't think it's finding anyone at the moment. Yeah, nothing's happening.
Yeah, it's very strange. I think Alpha just died and their teammate was like, I want to help Alpha. And then he died and it's like, I want to help that person, but just try to help Alpha. And they died as well. It was just a domino effect. And Reason just went, yeah, okay, we'll take it. And they actually managed to keep out and collect out that second before the crits even came into play. AMS is trying to hold his own on this choke area, but they've got so many of the TLR players stacked on that one point. It's just, if they lock down that area, make sure Alpha doesn't snipe anymore, and he does not. He actually has forced out the Uber. There was a back cap during all that shenanigans. They're trying their best to actually block it. AMS is on top of the point. He's surviving for so long. He has to get the kill onto Cadus. Is he still alive? What on earth, AMS?
How did he get that kill? How? That is amazing.
Cadus jumped up and he just went like, I don't care if you're in the air, and just got a nice clean direct and created him onto the floor and then escaped out from underneath.
Well, in comes the soldier, going to be bombing in onto the point. It's going to be the crits gets popped off though. AMS not able to hit anything, and really they're getting nothing done with this crits. Unlucky for AMS, he tried to go for too many air rockets there with the crits, and he should have just gone for the splash damage. And now TLR, they're 2 players up, Captain and Haftical both being dead, means that TLR are going to be able to push into the second. At least I think so. There's going to be a soldier from Mike, just defending top for so long. He's still up here. He even manages to make it out and kept alive. TLR, AMS actually going in from behind. Can he catch out any players? He's got into onto last. Is there going to be anyone to defend? Yes, the scouts do manage to get back in time. But he takes out Forsaken.
And
what is AMS doing?
He's underneath. He's actually... I think he's going to try and kite right back around. Captain is trying to get there. And Captain just missed 2 very easy rockets for a Prem soldier to hit. Would you say Captain's tilting?
I think AMS is fucking magic. That's what I think. Jesus.
But, you know, at some point, it's all well and good AMS keeping alive, but you've got to put some fault towards the Reason squad. They need to hit AMS eventually.
Well, I mean, AMS might be able to keep alive for very long, for ages, but Alpha can't seem to stay alive for very long at all. As we see him once again going down and leaving TLR 1 man down as both Ubers... Oh, sorry, so it's still a crits actually from Serotonin. So they're really confident in this crit strat, and it's going to get completely decimated now because there's a super aggressive Uber coming out from Reason. So close to defending that, but Serotonin does go down. Nice rockets by Captain there. Herpy, though, comes in with the cleanup, going to take down 2. And now AMS getting super aggressive onto the combo. Does get rocketed sort of away and forces momentum back, but Reason... They look all shaken up, and they just can't seem to finally finish any kills at the moment. Finally, AMS does go down, but TLR have got so many respawns out of this push. And now with Nico coming in to pick up Serotonin, there's not actually that much of a disadvantage for Serotonin. It's only about sort of 40%. And if they're quick, they can pick that up. Alpha's going to pick up a kill onto Forsaken. And Reason, they're on mid, but they don't look too confident. And there's a scout coming in through choke, which they are going to beat back. But TLR could definitely push this.
Yeah, I think we may be like throwing Reason a bit too under the bus. It seems like they missed one shot and we are kind of going like, oh good god, what is Reason doing? But I think they actually are doing the right things right now. That Uber was very nice and it did actually get the kill onto Serotonin in the end of it, and now they've just used that to claim the rest of mid. and they're just trying to slowly work their way into lobby, make use of this Uber charge that they do have. And they're still running, are they still running this crit screen? And it seems that they are. Serotone's trying his best to just stay alive. He is fully, it's actually on Medigon, how embarrassing. But War is finally popped off. I thought I could see a few sparks there, my mistake. AMS jumps straight into choke, trying to follow Nox in that choke way, but Cadus actually does take him out for following there. Just a simple bait and switch trap, it seems, coming out from Cadus there. Mike has shown some aggression towards the choke, but Alpha is peeking around that area. He needs to be very careful. He has shown off his presence with that first shot that he's made. I don't think Reason are going to give out an easy pick anytime soon.
Yeah, you say that. They all look like they're rotating over towards that big doors area and now trying to get a push in through there, maybe. Yeah, Reason... They're looking at that. They are going to pick up Nico. Nico does go down actually to Forsaken, who's on their own last. So TLR, they know there's a scout behind them, and they know that Reason are going to try and get around behind them. But Alpha's going to take out Nox, drops him down, and now that leaves AMS. Oh, sorry. Okay, no, never mind. TLR somehow managed to still lose that, as Reason just the other 5 players who aren't Nox just all collapse onto the TLR players and clean them up. The TLR can definitely still defend this mid though. They've just got themselves 5 little spawns. Sorry, defend this last, sorry. And Reason, I mean, that was really good from Reason, but losing Nox there was not what they wanted.
Yeah, I think that was like making the best of a bad situation there. They just went on full DM mode. It's like the leash was off from Nox and they could just go absolutely rapid and just take out as many TLR players as they can. And, you know, it just turns out that they happen to take out almost the entire team. So, kudos.
Yeah, definitely. Now they find themselves on second. Once again, we have Alpha running the sniper. That, I think, is going to be a key factor for the entirety of this tournament. Nox also picking up the crit streak. So this is the first time we see Reason crit streak. And it's going to be interesting to see how Cadus can play it. They look like they're going to want to get aggressive through that riverside, but there's a lot of spam keeping them back at the moment. And now it looks like they're going to be getting aggressive. War's actually going to be the first one to go down. The crits does finally get popped off, and they're just going to do so much damage with it. But no, Cadus not able to find any frags with the crit screen, but but with War down, Reason could definitely push for this, but they just don't want to. Yeah, they just don't want to.
No, you need to respect the Gully Wash last, Ryushi. It is a very intimidating last point, and I think it's best just to make use of that fact that the crit streak charges a little bit quicker than the Uber, and just get another crit streak up, and then this time go for the kill.
Okay, well this time, of course, there's not going to be any Uber coming out of Serotonin, because that's what saved them last time. And I think that's going to be key. If they can find a way in within the next sort of 5-6 seconds, they can definitely get themselves some easy frags here. But it just depends how much spam TLR are going to be content to put out. In they come through the launch pad. They pop the crits out without even seeing it. Herpy is going to be the only one to die, but the bomb from Mikey and Captain are going to be getting so many more players. Reason just decimating the entirety of the players, and that is actually going to be the first round for Reason. It doesn't feel like this is still the first round. I can't believe that was the first round. TLR went all the way to the enemy last and finally got pushed back by Reason. Turbo, take me to the next mid.
Well, so following up from that round towards Reason's favor, the first thing I see on mid is War opting to go to the choke area. Cadus following up. Maybe we'll see Cadus kind of drop down. No, he's sticking on this left-hand side. They're actually trying to bunch up on this right-hand side. A lot of pressure coming out from Reason onto TLR already, but they're struggling with Alpha in this drop-down so much they've distracted Reason for almost the entirety of the mid. And now when they've actually come out to fight, it's just a bit of even back and forth. It's almost 50-50 until Mike came around and just did the massive flank, got the med kill, and then got a nice little air shot onto the pocket to cap it off. MG Mike flexing his DM muscles there, Ryushi.
That was just perfectly timed. Captain comes in from the front, Mike comes in from the back, and both soldiers from Reason doing so much damage to 5 players all there. And Reason, they're going to pick up second point from this. TLR look like they sort of want to try and defend as they're pushing out into their top, but it's going to be rough for them. And yeah, okay, the rest of the team back out. It's just going to be leaving Herpy out there, and he's going to get himself back now. So TLR looking for the last defense. As you say, Gully Wash, tough point to push last. If War can set up some nice stickies and they can get some good spam going, Reason are going to find it pretty hard to come in. Because, of course, so Nox did go down on mid, so both Ubers are equal right now.
So what sort of last point defense do you like to see in your teams, Ryushi? Do you think you opt for the sentry gun, or are you more like a heavy or pyro sort of guy? Or do you just go cookie cutter and just go with the superior positional advantage?
I think in the situation where the Ubers are equal, I think either a heavy or cookie cutter is generally what I would prefer. Because then you can, waste Ubers pretty easily on either the heavy or just on the pocket soldier. But it looks like TLR are actually going to be trying to push out. They're going to do a ton of damage into lobby, and the Uber does get popped out. Captain going down. Nox finally gets his Uber forced out, but I don't think they're going to be able to get any kills with this. AMS actually comes in from behind again. They think he's run away. He's going to try and pick up Nox. Gets the first rocket. Yes, sure. Can he get the second? No, does finally go down, but nice play by AMS there. And Reason, no, have to comes from behind. It's going to pick up Serotonin. TLR, they've got 3 players left on last, but one of them is really weak. Herpy does go down. Just Nico and Alpha to defend last, but Reason don't want to push it in. They had a couple of players. I think they could have gone for that. Some huge plays by everyone to just pick to get med picks left and right.
It seems like when both teams just kind of go in each other's territory, they kind of make huge things happen, but all it does is kind of plateau out the fight because they can't really push any sort of objective because there's nobody really alive to kind of push those objectives. But now AMS does go down. You actually see the scout trying to go for even more. Forsaken also taking out Serotonin. That's a huge pick, and now they're just going to push out with the sheer mana advantage, even the heal advantage possibly. Cadus is going on to the point, throwing some pipes out, kind of cover his scout who's capping. Alpha does kind of shoot a rocket at him, but it's just way too slow, and the round will go towards Reason. It's 2-0 so far, Ryushi.
Yeah, a hugely aggressive play coming out from Forsaken there, and it just pays off completely. He picks up AMS, then runs in, manages to pick up Serotonin, and then gets himself out again so that Reason can just push with 6 men. That is so massive. Reason, of course, they're going to be looking in. They're going to be feeling confident now. They're 2 points up. They're going to be feeling confident as they come into this mid.
Mike
is going to be getting destroyed.
Oh my god. Captain does actually clean up Nico towards the pencil end of that. Alpha is coming behind, and they have finally noticed him. Nox is actually knocked back down. Cadus is trying to fight from that point. War, they're kind of slowly capping the point, but one of them not even taking the fight immediately to Reason right now. AMS does use his height advantage just to take out a very easy pick onto Happy Core. So yeah, that little fight with Nico at the very start with Mike and Nico won it. I guess that's all the mid really comes down to. Actually, you see a very low Forsaken taking on 3 members of the team, surviving, getting out. Oh wait, maybe not surviving, and maybe not getting out.
Okay, yeah, Herpy chases it down at the end, but I mean, TLR, it's been rough. When TLR's winning now, it's rough for them. It's hard for them. They're losing players, whereas when Reason are winning points, it's wipes. And I think that says a lot about the difference in skill levels between these two teams and the way that TLR have had to switch out players for this LAN as well.
Although TLR have been playing quite well, like much better than I thought they'd be playing.
I think they're playing really well.
I'm actually impressed by TLR right now. You actually see Alpha going in for the bomb. It does get a bit of damage, but none of it onto Nox. So what is in the stars for TLR right now? Will they just wait up for Alpha to reach the bomb back on Soldier, or will they actually bring him back out onto the sniper class? And during all this, Reason will probably have a thing to say about it, especially with the spy play that they've just decided to run. Happy Cool, he's in the thick of it. He has uncloaked, but he's right next to players, and you need to know that when you uncloak, it makes a god-awful loud sound, Ryushi.
Yeah, I think TLR, they're going to use that as an excuse to push in. They know they're a man advantage. If they can get the Uber out of Nox pretty quickly, which they do, they go for the trade, and now actually this could be really good for them if they can get in. If they can find any more frags, Alpha's going to be going for the headshot. He's going to pick up Cadence. That's going to be big. TLR, they know that they can push in off this with no demo man up, and Reason, and losing Forsaken there as well, and the rest of the players not on full health. This could be so big for them if they can just get a couple players on the point.
He even trades with Captain behind the point.
Huge plays.
I don't think there's any way of holding back onto that, especially with Serotonin as well. It was just not enough rockets, and then Mike's rocket launcher to deal with all these players that are just still alive for TLR. It's 2-1. It's still in the grasp for TLR, Ryushi.
Yeah, absolutely. They find themselves a first round, and I think that's going to be a big swing towards their momentum as well. AMS pulling out some huge damage from that last round, and I think that's going to be really big. TLR War is just going to be like putting out a ton of damage on the Reason players who are all sort of grouped up on the floor there. He did a lot of damage. And Reason, they've sort of got to be careful this mid. Mike's going to be down first, and now they've got a lot of damage taken on Reason. Forsaken's very low, Cadence very low. Is he going to get shut down? Yeah, Nico just going ham and getting himself another nice little double pick there. They only lose Herpy, and Reason lose 3, and they're going to get forced back all the way into their second point because War is just going to sticky out this shutter door. And an easy second point for TLR, which, you know, that's a risky play pushing forward there, but they make it work really well. And Alpha coming in from behind. Tell me what's happening, Turbo.
Yeah, it's just, I think it was just another early death by Mike on that midpoint, and then the domino started falling there. Mike is a very big asset for a reason. The Uber has been forced out from AMS onto Nox. Nox had to pop his Uber to keep his pocket alive. Mike does actually pick up War, which is a very big player for TLR, probably the biggest. He has actually been performing phenomenally throughout this match.
Oh my God,
actually Herpy actually takes out Nox.
Oh my God, did you see that?
Yeah, Alpha actually capped the point. So either way, they were going to get a very nice little, I guess, comeback mechanic from that, winning the round or winning a reason to win the round.
I can't believe Herpy just did that. Just runs through 3 players and then just finds 2 me shots on.
It's like, how can it get worse than this? And then the point caps.
Oh dear. Oh well. Reason, they're going to be looking at for a second round. Reason and Mike and Alpha are actually going to trade over in Alpha's drop down, which I think is going to be absolutely key. With AMS going down as well, I would have said Reason could have lost this because they lose Mike early on, they lose mid, but this time they've consolidated this.
Oh my
Captain's
God,
going to go huge.
Sweet
Oh my God.
Jesus, he needed that. He needed that rocket to survive, and good God, he delivers. How dare I say anyone on this team is tilting whatsoever when they're pulling out shots like that. Maybe they just need a few matches to kind of like grease the wheels and start this ball rolling.
Yeah, and just to top it all off, Cadus goes in deep, gets the pick on the medic, and then manages to get out alive. So now with Serotonin down, TLR are in a dangerous situation. They have second point at the moment, but they look like they want to give this up pretty quickly because they've got a 100% disadvantage. They want to try and delay, for as long as possible, should I say. But they don't want to lose anybody on this point. And with Captain and Mike both bombing into that attic and both sort of looking to get aggressive, it's really dangerous for TLR here. But the longer they delay, the more time they have to build the Uber.
Yeah, TLR are keeping them at an arm's length though, but Reason are just taking that arm's length and then just taking a mile, as now they've actually Ubered in their scout and the demo man. But Herpy doing a wonderful job of actually not only keeping the demo man out, but keeping the scout out. And what a demise for the Pyro that did so much work for that to just die to Cadence of stickies on the end, but somebody had to die. Those stickies were covering plasters all over TLR's point, and if they ever need to defend that, those stickies need to go. But yeah, big credit onto the Pyro there.
Yeah, Nico got himself a nice little clean-up triple kill off the back of that Pyro damage, but TLR, they're going to get second here. They have an Uber advantage, and if they can just keep with this, they might even be able to get mid, and if they can get a good push onto mid, this could be really big for them here. Let's see what's going to happen. It looks like they're going to be going through drop down. War and AMS leading the charge, trying to get the pick onto Cadence. Actually, no. War and AMS both getting destroyed by Hafikul, who came in from underneath, decimates both players, following up from Cadence's damage. Now Nico, he had the last second of the Uber, but he's not going to find anything. Now runs in, going to try and kill Cadence. Is going to be able to do it, but does lose the fight against Captain and Happy.
Okay, so Reason fighting back. They have got the Uber charge ready. They're looking to maybe size up onto the second point. Actually, they're delaying back. They actually have Alpha on mid, and they've actually got quite a bit of aggro to deal with on this mid point still. And especially when Alpha takes out Nox. Good God, Nox tried to back out immediately, but the rest of Reason was still up on that higher part of the map on mid, and now TLR just picking them apart from the seams. It seems like a bit of a communication error coming out from Reason. Seems like Nox wanted to back out, but Reason just wanted to stay in just that little bit longer.
They did get a little bit of recovery towards the end of that. Happy, who was on like 20 HP, does manage to get the pick up onto a solo for Serotonin there, who was going for a health kit, but you know, big plays by Alpha there. Nice little shot there. So yeah, once again, we find ourselves a bit of a stalemate. They're both trying to push in. TLR are going to lose a couple of players, but Reason have also lost players. It's all just down to a big DM fight. AMS just doing so much damage. It's going to take down Mikey. Happy as well going down. Reason they lose 5. TLR only losing 2 or 3. And TLR, they find themselves once again pushing into Reason's last. Now, we've seen how this has gone for them before. Sometimes it goes really well. Sometimes it goes awfully. So let's see what's going to happen.
Man, if I was Reason right now, I'd be getting very, very nervous, because this is the point of the game where they could, if they do win this round, they could actually slow down the game in their favor and just make Reason do all the difficult decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, TLR, they're looking like they want to sort of try and edge the sniper in through River at the moment. And I don't know whether or not Alpha's going to be able to hit anything. He's looking for the shot, trying to edge the shot onto where the soldier is.
Might meet a Forsaken, but he is actually aiming at a different spot. Will Alpha actually pick off Forsaken? Yes, he will. A nice little body shot as well. Oh, the cheek.
Yeah, but I mean, it's only a sniper pick. They're not going to be able to push in too aggressively off that, although they look like they want to. He sees Cadence there for a second, isn't going to be able to hit the shot though. If he hits that, that's big. Nico's going to trade over on lower though.
Alpha's looking for Nox. Mike actually survived.
Shot onto Nox, doesn't miss.
Okay, happy call. The Ubers actually have been exchanged out. War has gone in with a single Uber on himself, and Nox is just trying to best to keep all of his team alive. But it seems like the solid Uber wasn't enough. War actually gets minced towards the end of that. I bet TLR thought they had a lot more Uber going for them towards on that end, but I guess it just didn't work out. Maybe a slight mechanical misstep from TLR. But Alpha is just keeping them in the game with the sniper rifle, just randomly striking a player off the map at any point of the game. It's still Reason on the ropes here, Ryushi.
Yeah, I think this sniper from both teams actually, because Forsaken is a fantastic sniper as well. He hasn't really shown it so far though. Mikey's going to be the first to get picked off, and once again, we find ourselves in a situation where Alpha is getting super aggressive. Forsaken does counter-snipe him, finally taking down that Alpha sniper. But the way Alpha was getting so aggressive there, I think Alpha wants to get off sniper. They know it's not really working for them at the moment. They can get picks, but they can't seem to push in. I think they just want that roamer to go in and try and make a play there. Reason are going to get the spawn. Okay, I'm completely wrong. Alpha spawn sniper, whatever, just ignore me.
I think they're just nervous right now. They want like a very non-risky way of kind of securing a way to push into this last, because this is, might think in TLR's eyes, this is their only chance they're going to push Reason to this last, and they need to win the game right here, so they're going to be taking it very carefully. And if Alpha dies, they could just play just maybe a little bit passively and just keep, keep doing it and doing it and doing it, because all it takes is that one time to work, and then maybe they could actually, but in saying that, they just decided to go completely in, balls to the wall, and immediately just like make the push happen right now, while both teams are losing a player. TLR are getting roughly the better end of this.
Nico comes in from behind though,
is
going to take down Cadence from behind, and now there's going to be a lot of players coming in, and TLR are going to be able to take that. That was a huge play by Nico. He goes in, comes in from water, takes down Cadence, and Cadence is such a huge part on these last pushes. Sorry to interrupt you there, Turbo, but I had to shout out what was going on.
No, man, be my guest. It's a very, very unique situation we see ourselves in, with TLR actually winning 3-2, and with only 2 minutes on the clock, it's crunch time for Reason. Forsaken does open up the mid for his team to start off with. Ian follows up with another kill on that. It's kind of rocking just that one-man advantage right now. Captain actually plasters himself and kills himself, and that's just a sign of what Reason mid is like. But in saying that, Nico is kind of away from his medic, and he has to go back and try and fight off against these two scouts. There is two scouts left. They are standing together with only 30 HP combined, so it's a real shame, but it does go towards Reason in the end.
Yeah, but I mean, both their scouts are pretty damn weak, and with 1 minute 40 left on the clock, if Reason can find themselves another round, this is going to be big. There's not actually going to be a golden cap in the group stages. We've been told this, so
yeah, it's going to be a draw.
It can be a draw. But I don't really know what that means for the group stages, to be honest. But we are going to be watching Nico and Reason and TLR both taking a little bit of a skirmish at mid. TLR coming out on top as they find 3 frags in quick succession. And now if they can chase out Nox, Nox is really far forward here. They're not going to commit to him. They know there's a soldier behind them. They do have eyes on him now. And Nico's just going to come in and take off the finish off frag onto Mike there. And Reason, they find themselves on their last with 1 minute left on the clock.
Oh,
that's got to be a little damaging to their pride.
I think TLR might just slow this down, park that bus, as one likes to call it. But yeah, I think what just happened there was Reason tried to go aggressive, but that was immediately met with a nice defense, and then they actually stopped the follow-up before it even began. Reason do pop out their Uber to kind of make something happen on the second point, but again get punished for it because it's a very hard push to make. But it's the push that they have to make if they're ever going to come back in this, but it's just not going to happen, Ryushi. I think it's over. The fat lady is sung.
Yeah, absolutely. 17 seconds left. TLR, I mean, they could maybe get themselves a last point, but I don't think they're going to want to. They're just going to want to heal up and be comfortable in this win, I think. This is, of course, only the group stages, and reason they could just be, you know, they could just be not even trying, just treating it like scrims, looking to learn a bit about the teams.
But,
yeah.
But at the same time, we shouldn't make excuses for them and say, like, TLR just completely upsetted them. Whoa!
No, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think it was a good game. We saw some big plays out of both teams, especially players like AMS, Alpha, Forsaken, Herpy and Nico. They're both all doing a lot of work for their team there. And I think the crits, both teams played a lot around the crits creek as well.
TLR definitely played around that crits. Oh my god, it was like, I thought they were just doing a weird thing where they were playing crits all game. It was like, all right, okay. Maybe it was just Serotonin just staying alive for ages, and you know, if you can't just switch off that Uber. We actually are playing with rules where you can't pick up those mediguns off the ground because it is a bit slightly broken, maybe imbalanced right now. So maybe after the tournament's over, after this huge cycle of TF2, we'll actually like switch over. But we have actually got some logs to look into our accusations of these big plays. So we'll have a quick look here.
That is not the right logs.
No?
I'd like to point out, guys, that's not the right logs. That is for a completely different game.
So, what do these logs mean to the game we just watched? Okay,
apparently we don't have any logs anyway. So we're going to cut to music because obviously things are rushing along at a breakneck pace here. And we don't want to spend too long
of course,
debating over what happened because we're going to have to get into our next game pretty damn soon. So I've been Ryushi, with me is TurboTabs, our stream as normal. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you in a bit.